I have a terrible problem with carpenter bees. They are boring holes in my shed out in the pasture. They're boring holes in the railings, the treated 2x4 railings on my front porch, and also in my shop and on some other property I have. They're boring holes there. So I've been looking at ways to build Carpenter Bee traps, and one of the ones I found that I think probably the quickest and easiest, we'll see if it works, is actually with a piece of 4x4. And I'm going to make one of these and we're going to see how it works. First, measure 7 inches and cut a 45-degree angle down from that so that the back will be 7 inches and the front will be 4 inches tall. Then in the center, on the bottom, on the flat end, mark the center and drill a 7/8 inch hole in the center, about 4 inches deep. Now I have the block that I cut a 45-degree angle on one end, hole in the bottom. Next, on each side, drill a 1/2 inch hole 2 inches from the bottom and 1 3/4 inch, so the center mark. Drill a 1/2 inch hole in an upward 45-degree angle. Alright, once you have the holes cut, you see I have the 7/8 hole in the center on the bottom and a 1/2 inch hole on each side that's 2 inches from the bottom. The 1/2 inch holes angle up at a 45-degree angle, and you can see, actually see light through that one. Alright, the next step, take a lid from a canning jar, a jar lid, and mark the center and drill a 1/2 inch hole in the middle with a metal drill bit, and then put a couple holes for screws. Put that back in the lid like so. Once you have the lid put together, lay it on the center and make sure the 1/2 inch hole matches up with the 7/8. Kind of center it up, and then attach that with 2 screws. Once you have the lid attached with 2 screws and a 1/2 inch hole, at that point, supposedly what will happen, you'll hang it. They will find the holes and crawl into the 1/2 inch holes. Once they get to the center, they'll see light coming from the jar and use that as an exit and go into the jar, but not be able to get back out. Use a eye hook to put in the top and hang it where you're having trouble with the carpenter bees. Alright, I'm out here in the pasture where I have goats, and I'm in the stall here, and to show you, there's carpenter bee hole, there's a carpenter bee hole, several around. Here's the finished product. Hang it here, just on a nail with an eye hook and a piece of wire. Hopefully it works. If so, I want to make several of these. Well, here you have it. I made this Carpenter Bee Trap yesterday. I hung it right there about 5:30 p.m. As I was getting ready to leave to go out for supper, and we already have a carpenter bee. So this is without a doubt probably the easiest trap to make that I have seen. This one requires taking a block of wood and drilling a few holes and not really building anything. I hope this helps. If so, hit like if you don't mind, share the video, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.